Susan Blackwell thought destroying my retirement lawn was just a bit of harmless fun until she met a plumber who'd spent 32 years building things that never move, things that laugh at hurricanes, floods, and the petty tantrums of entitled neighbors. For 3 straight months, this self-crowned queen of Oak Ridge Estates turned my corner lot into her personal expressway. Her gleaming silver Mercedes GLE roaring across my $2,500 Bermuda grass every single morning at 7:52 sharp, as if she held the deed in her manicured fist. The engine's scream shredded my sprinkler lines into plastic confetti. Diesel fumes poisoned the steam curling off my morning tea, and the wet, sickening rip of turf under those overpriced tires crushed every dream of peace I'd saved for. After 3 decades of crawling through mud and concrete, it started with one set of tracks I tried to forgive, maybe a distracted driver, maybe a one-off. By day 3, I had cameras rolling, hidden in the holly bushes like silent witnesses. At 7:52 a.m. sharp, the white SUV came flying around the bend, cut the corner at 25 miles an hour, and gunned it across my yard to shave. Exactly 40 seconds off her commute to the country club. The footage was perfect, high definition, time-stamped, undeniable proof of daily criminal trespass. I walked over with a polite smile and a load-bearing depths in seconds, started sketching excavation plans for something far more permanent than caution tape. "Ma'am, that's my land. The survey stakes prove it." She spun on her heel. Every code book I owned off the shelf, plumbing, electrical, municipal, HOA bylaws, stacked them on the dining table like bricks in a fortress. 32 years pouring concrete foundations, boxes, and enough marine-grade wire to run a marina. If Susan wanted a racetrack, she'd get Broadway lighting at intermission. Saturday and Sunday blurred into a single marathon of trenching. Textbook, every connector sealed with silicone for 20-year life, grounded to a copper rod driven 3 feet into clay. Monday at 7:52, the first sensor fired. 10,000 lumens turned her seconds, waking half the block. Wednesday, I added a reflective aluminum sign. Private property, monitored 24/7. Thursday night, my phone buzzed with motion alerts. Infrared caught Susan in a black hoodie and $1,200 Louboutins kicking fixtures to pieces, $900 in lights reduced to glittering confetti, while the red record light blinked at her like a dare. My backup batteries, hospital grade. Emergency power I'd salvaged from a demolished ICU. Kept rolling, capturing every curse, every shard, every furious stomp. Friday morning, an HOA citation slid under my door, typed on official letterhead, signed Susan Blackwell, HOA treasurer. Excessive exterior lighting disturbing community tranquility and creating safety hazards. The paper smelled faintly of her vanilla perfume. Like baseball cards. Frank introduced me to Mrs. Jenkins, 76, armed with a spiral notebook thicker than the Bible, 2 years' worth of Susan's reign of terror meticulously logged, complaints about bird feeders attracting vermin, mailmen trespassing to avoid sprinklers, Christmas lights exceeding wattage guidelines. The insurance adjuster measured the wreckage, then paused at my corner stakes. "Mr. Reynolds, these markers look way off. Get a pro survey before this escalates." That night, I spec'd a decorative concrete bollard the way I spec'd utility poles on high-rise jobs. Tank. I knew exactly where her right front tire tracked every morning. 8 inches inside my line, right at the apex of her reckless arc. Monday, I called Mike, old union buddy who'd traded wrenches. Current stakes. A 2019 correction carried Richard Blackwell's professional seal, fraud in black and white, stamped and notarized. Mike's crew confirmed with GPS precision, I owned 20 feet more than anyone thought. Susan's shortcut? Pure felony trespass, every single day. Her $18,000 decorative retaining wall? 4.5 feet over my line. Built without permits or easements. Because you hate traffic. I handed her Mike's certified survey, still warm from the printer. Daily trespass for 92 days, ma'am. And that wall's on my land. Her face cycled through every traffic light color: green envy, yellow panic, red rage. Impossible. Richard built this place. He decides where lines go. Exactly. Original survey proves it. The fake one has his signature in blue ink. She stepped so close I smelled her breath mince. You blue-collar trash think you belong in Oak Ridge? We decide who stays. Life gets very difficult for troublemakers. Very difficult. She stormed off, heels stabbing the driveway like exclamation points. I made 2 calls. Insurance legal for systemic fraud patterns, and a concrete contractor I'd poured foundations with on a hospital wing. Guys who knew how to make something that would outlast the pyramids. Friday, a city truck rolled up, white paint gleaming. Inspector Tom Harris, clipboard in hand, mustache twitching. He wrote a $1,400 fine anyway, pin scratching like claws. Where do you golf, Tom? Flush crept up his neck. Oak Ridge Country Club, Richard's deal spot where contracts were signed on napkins. FOIA request filed that afternoon. 52 complaints signed Susan Blackwell, targeting 22 separate homes for everything from unauthorized mailbox flags to excessive lawn gnomes. Tom had fast-tracked Richard's $1 million pool addition in 3 weeks instead of 6 months. Quid pro quo in fluorescent highlighter. I called Alex, head electrical inspector, an old job site. Mike's full survey exposed the entire scam. Richard had stolen slivers from 7 lots over 5 years, half an acre total, all corrected, on paper with forged signatures and backdated stamps. Attorney Lisa Chun grinned like a shark over the evidence stack. Bankrupt them, systematic fraud, civil rights violations, 7 figures easy. We'll take the house, the cars, the club membership. Inside my line, right where physics and entitlement would collide in a symphony of crumpling steel. Industrial Depot poured it Friday under a popcorn sky. 6-foot hole augured through clay. Looked innocent as a park bench. Felt like destiny forged in rebar and rage. Monday, 7:52 a.m. Susan came screaming home from a long weekend at the lake, tanned and furious. The Mercedes hit the bollard at perfect angle. Front right tire exploded. Fender crumpled like tinfoil. Suspension screamed. Coolant bled out in a green river. Airbags deployed with a gunshot bang. She stumbled out in vacation silk and sunglasses, shrieking, "What the hell is that thing?" I sipped coffee on the porch, rocking chair creaking like a metronome. Morning, Mrs. Blackwell. Just a decorative garden. Private landscaping on private property. You had written permission to drive here. It's my route. That's criminal trespass, ma'am. 92 counts. She speed-dialed Richard. His voice boomed through the speaker for the whole block to hear. Jesus, Susan, I'm under federal investigation. Handle your own damn mess. Color drained from her face like someone pulled a plug. Official report. Driver error, 100% at fault. Her insurance pays. Flatbed tow truck hauled away the corpse while neighbors filmed on phones. This isn't over, she hissed, mascara streaking like war paint. That night Mrs. Jenkins threw a bollard bash in my backyard. 50 neighbors, 3 grills, a keg from the microbrewery 1 victim now owned. Kids chalked, "Thank you, John," on the driveway. Battle 1-1. Susan doubled down like a gambler on tilt. Jenkins recorded her pacing the driveway on speakerphone. Make it disappear by Friday. Look like a utility accident. Next call. Fake gas leak repair, whatever it takes. I'll handle city paperwork and pay cash. I called every utility. 0 work orders in the system. Thursday, a yellow excavator rumbled up, operator sweating. Bullets. Susan directed in pearl earrings and boots. Right there. Emergency gas main repair, city approved. I hit 911 before the engine idled down. 2 patrol cars, 1 code enforcement SUV, and a news van arrived as the bucket scraped sparks off my bollard. No permits, no utility on site, no gas lines within 50 feet. Operator played his phone recording, Susan offering $12,000 cash to accidentally destroy the obstacle and bill me for repairs. Cuffs clicked. Charges: fraud, conspiracy to commit vandalism, bribery of a public contractor, criminal trespass. Filing false instruments. Operator rolled on Richard for supplying fake work orders and forged city seals. City council meeting packed the high school auditorium. 200 residents, 3 TV crews, 1 FBI agent in the back row. Susan's lawyer in a $5,000 suit called it targeted harassment by a dangerous obstacle and a vendetta-driven tradesperson. Evidence rolled for 40 minutes. Certified surveys, dashcam loops on loop, infrared vandalism footage, bribe audio, forged plats, text messages, bank transfers. Susan stood and shrieked, blue-collar conspiracy. Against successful people. They're jealous of our lifestyle. FBI agent stepped forward, badge flashing. Mrs. Blackwell, your husband's firm stole $2.5 million in land across 4 counties using the exact scheme we just watched on screen. You just gave us the final piece. Thank you. Council voted unanimously. All fines voided, official city apology to me. Full support for my property rights. Immediate removal of Susan from all HOA positions. Cheers escorted Susan out in handcuffs while neighbors chanted, John, John, John. 6 months later, justice tasted sweet as Emily's rosemary bread. Susan pled guilty to federal wire fraud, 24 months in Alderson, $62,000 restitution to 7 victims. Mansion sold at sheriff's auction for $90,000 under market, devoured by liens. Richard Drew 4 years for contractor fraud and tax evasion, license revoked for life. My bollard sparked an FBI probe that nailed 19 crooked officials, inspectors, planners, even a county commissioner. Settlement check, $42,000 after legal fees. I donated every penny to the Oak Ridge Justice Fund. Free legal clinic for contractor scams. Run out of Frank's backroom. Emily's a mess. Stabilized. Stress was the trigger, and victory is the best medicine. She gardens herbs around the bollard every morning. Scent of rosemary and victory in the air. Neighborhood bloomed. Self-defense and revenge. Like, subscribe, join the fight for your own corner lot.